Mary is back in the relaxation position, and I'm now going to show her how to use those transverse abdominal muscles, one of the key core muscles, to stabilise the pelvis while she does simple exercises. We're going to do something called a leg slide, where Mary's going to slide her leg along the mat without losing her neutral pelvis. While we're here, let's do a quick recap on the relaxation position. So Mary's worked out her neutral pelvis, north to south, east to west. Her knees are in line with the hip bones, and she has to keep remembering not to bring them in together. If Mary was to relax one knee out to the side, you can feel that compression on that sacroiliac joint, can't you? So again, that allows the pelvis and the spine to not have any shearing forces. Mary's can feel her whole foot, not just the heel. So to begin with, she had her foot further away and all the pressure was going through the heel. Now she's brought the heels a little bit nearer to her buttocks. She can feel her whole foot on the mat. Her feet are neither turned in nor turned out. She's got a nice long spine. Her arms are lengthened by her side. Her shoulders are relaxed. She's nice and open across the chest and collarbone. Mary's got a little cushion under her head, because if I took it away, her head would tilt back. She's only got one. If I put two, then her chin would tilt forward. So you want to find the number of cushions that don't allow your head to be tilting back or your chin to be tucked towards your chest. So her neck, I'm actually just going to move the cushion a little bit further back, so there's a bit more, just lift your head just a second, a little bit more space under the neck. But her neck is nicely in line with the rest of her spine. So that's a very nice relaxation position. The relaxation position is a good position of alignment from which to start your exercises. And by focusing on getting into that position, it starts to bring your mind and your focus onto your body, and you start to then become a bit more calm in the mind and forget about everything else that's going on in your life. So let's find these lower abdominal muscles that we found standing. So put your fingers on your lower abdominals. Both of them, that's it. And without moving your pelvis isn't going to tilt north to south or east to west. Take a breath in and you'll feel those tummy muscles rise up under your fingers. And then just pull, as you breathe out, pull in those tummy muscles and you feel them just tighten up a little bit underneath your fingers. Now again, to begin with, if you haven't used these muscles, you're not going to feel a huge amount of strength there. But even if you can feel a little bit of a flicker, then that's something. If you can't feel a flicker, then don't worry. As you begin to do these exercises, you'll start to notice that muscle. The muscle is there, it just needs waking up. So we're going to do an exercise now. And to begin with, you're only going to do a movement on an out breath, because it's much easier to hold this muscle in on an out breath than it is on an in breath. It's what we call a muscle of expiration when you breathe out. And a good example of this, and this is something that you can do yourself at home, if you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, do a little cough. So you've breathed out very quickly, and you can feel those muscles jump under your fingers. That's that muscle contracting, okay? So that's why it's easier to hold the muscle in on an out breath. As you get more advanced, you'll be able to hold it on an in breath as well. So we're going to do a simple exercise called a leg slide. And you are going to slide your leg along the mat. As the leg lengthens away, it wants to pull the pelvis, tilt the pelvis to the south, so you get an arching in your back. But you're going to use this lower abdominal muscle to stop that happening. Okay. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in this lower abdominal and keep it in and slide your leg away along the mat. And as the leg lengthens away, keep the pelvis back, don't let the back arch. Good. Stay here, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, but just a split second before you move, pull in your abdominals, stabilise the pelvis and draw your leg back. Don't dig it into the mat, just bring it back. And back to where you can feel the front of your foot. Good. Now let's do the other leg. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core first, stabilise the pelvis and then move. Breathing out as you slide the leg away. So ideally not holding your breath, but keeping that breath working. Good. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, pull in your core, stabilise the pelvis and draw your leg back. And the pelvis doesn't shift left or right. And I know your sock will come off, just bring your foot back a little bit more. Yeah, good. Let's do another one on each side. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core, stabilize the pelvis, and then move while you continue to breathe out. Making sure the leg stays in line, that it doesn't go on the outside of the pelvis. Take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, you pull in the core and you draw your leg back. So making sure you can feel the whole of your foot. And we'll do once more on the left-hand side, breathing in first. Breathing out, pulling in your core, stabilizing the pelvis, and then breathing out, sliding that leg away. Keep using that muscle so there's no change in the pelvis. Stay here as you breathe in. As you breathe out, pull in your core and draw your leg back. Yeah, good. So those are the leg slides, and that challenges your pelvis north to south. So if you, just as an example, if you weren't going to worry about pulling in your core, just slide your leg away and just see what happens to your pelvis. You're not worrying about pulling in those muscles. Already you can feel your pelvis moving, can't you? It's gone all over the shop. Yes. So just that simple thing about stabilizing the pelvis, it allows the pelvis to stay still. There's no strain going on the spine whatsoever, and that's really the fundamental essence of core stability.
And you pull those in just as you're about to
Exactly.
exhale.
It's like a mirror signal maneuver when you're driving.
Yeah.
You do those three things in a sequence, but actually it almost happens at the same time. And it's the same with this. You breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, a split second before you move, you pull in your core, and the rest of your out breath you execute that movement. Good. And then breathe in again. And as you breathe out, quickly stabilize and draw the leg back. So you always stabilize the pelvis before you start the movement.
Which is quite strong.
You can feel it getting stronger.
Yes,
Do you know, this is amazing.
strong.
Even within a week of doing these, every day you will really notice a difference in that muscle.
It's definitely there.
Yes.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
Great, fantastic. And the thing is, it's if you want, you can take Pilates to whatever level you want, but without a strong core, you can't take it anywhere.
Okay.
So we have to start with these really basic exercises, which can seem a little bit boring to begin with, but they're really important because they are what is going to start strengthening that lower abdominal muscle. And we'll come onto the pelvic floor at a later date, but at the moment we're just focused on here.
Okay.
But already, as you say, you can feel it wakes up those muscles.
Wakes up the muscles.
Fantastic.